This is Sean and Michael with 2020 Vision. For today, we're creating dreams and breakthroughs and crushing fear and distortion. So Michael, what's up, brother?
Just had an awesome day in court, feeling good, ready to crush exactly what you just said.
Yeah, so listen, so let's take a seat. So where we are today is out in Phoenix, Arizona. And the messaging for today, right, this is a content 2020 Vision, is that life is always working for us, right? And I believe that God makes all things work together for good. And I think being in this yard makes me think of that. So quickly, we're Lazy River, right? This is a backyard. This isn't a hotel or resort. Like Lazy River house, right? Swim up bar. Now, material things, right, are not what drives life, period. But the reality is that this home and this structure is the home of Mark Wachansky. And when many of you have heard of this before, this is our top jury verdict of 2016 in the state of Arizona. And Michael and I were out here doing this. And what I was thinking about, Mike, and if you could share it with folks real quick,
Sure.
is the fact that there were moments in that trial starting eight years ago, in 2011, one of the darkest days of my legal career, where I lost such absolute faith in what was happening. And sometimes everything that we think is going the wrong way is actually working together for good. Because had things worked the right way in that case, it would have turned out as a fraction of all of this because they were doing wrong. Michael?
Yeah, and I remember the day. It was November 4th, 2011. I'll never forget that day because it was one of the darkest days of my entire legal profession. I knew that I would always remember the date because it would never leave me. And then I remember April 20th.
What was so dark about it?
So we walked into that room.
Because this is for folks, this is in service of the idea that you may have things going on right now that you feel like you're just like not going the right way and everything is going the wrong way. But sometimes there's an amazing purpose behind it.
Yeah. So we walked into that room thinking that the case was either over in favor of our client or very much in favor ultimately, and that we were going to be close to conclusion. When we walked out of the room, that didn't happen, and the exact opposite happened, and the judge was like granting oral motions that were really harming Mark at the end of the day.
It was disgusting and ridiculous
Brutal.
and so horrible and insane. It defies the imagination what happened that day. The judge was wrong, did everything imaginable wrong, and we walked out. What were you feeling when you walked out?
In all honesty, I had lost faith in like the legal profession. I was like, how can you have so much truth? How could you have so many facts on your side? And the court just look at it and they're like, nah, and they push it aside. And it was brutal for me as a young attorney.
Yeah. And by the way, do you think the judge did it because like, he didn't believe what we're saying?
No, I don't think that at all.
Why do you think he did it?
I think it because I thought at that time, I didn't know why he did it. I now believe that most judges are scared to do the right thing because it requires them putting themselves out there and potentially putting themselves at risk. And so they'd rather do things in a way that's easier, right? Move the case along, not believe like either side, and just try to get it off their docket as quickly as possible, because most judges unfortunately are governed by that, getting the case off the docket as quickly as possible, not in how much justice they dispense, because there's really no way to measure how much like justice and righteousness that you've done.
At that point, to wrap this up, so this is just like thinking of what can be, we were asking for $3 million. We would have taken $3 million to resolve it. Look at this house one more time around. We ended up getting $27 million. $27 million because the judge did the wrong thing, the other side did the wrong thing, and it was utterly unbelievable that we're sitting here today. So at this point, and I've had many times in my life, probably you too in your life, Mike, because Michael and I did that together, right? That doesn't happen without Michael. It doesn't happen without Mark and everybody on the team. It's utterly amazing. And at the end of the day, as this keeps hitting me, right? At the end of the day, for me, whenever I'm feeling like I'm not sure this is going the right way, but I'm constantly reminded of that day and realizing that we can't figure out sometimes why this deal didn't work, why this person did that, and this agreement didn't work out the way we'd hoped. But at the end, amazing things can happen. And it took us years. It took 5 years from that day to get to the jury verdict. But look at where things are now.
Relentless persistence behind where we knew when we'd arrive, having the outcome in mind and making it happen.
Yeah. So if any of that's going on for you right now, like just take heart, right? Think about the fact that you keep doing the right thing. Now, that doesn't mean keep running like east looking for a sunset. Like, so make sure your strategies are correct. Make sure you're optimizing what you're up to. We innovated like crazy during that process. Innovated like crazy, right? But keep faith, keep innovating, keep moving forward. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, that's it.
Hey, have an amazing day. We're all just learning to see. Thanks.